call me a god. You call me a god.
I'm called of God! Called of God. And she says, Tim Ballard told me he'd been called of God. Some wild-eyed prophet like...
Love me tender, love me sweet, never let me go. You have made my life complete, and I love you
So this is the description under this upcoming live stream on Mormon Stories Podcast, scheduled for October 17th. Okay. So it says, today we will discuss someone described as, quote, the spiritual leader of alleged murders, Chad Daybell and Lori Vallow, alleged abuser, Tim Ballard, and recently imprisoned Jody Hildebrandt. Tom Harrison is a prominent Utah therapist who published a book called Visions of Glory in 2012, focusing on 3 of his alleged, I like how they put that, near-death experiences, including personal visitations from Jesus Christ. Oh, okay. Sounds familiar. As has been uncovered over the past few years, Tom Harrison and his book Visions of Glory have been highly influential across the Mormon prepper neo-fundamentalist community, and particularly in the lives and stories of Chad Daybell, Lori Vallow, Tim Ballard, and Jody Hildebrandt, as well as other preppers such as Julie Rowe, Rod Meldrum, and alleged abuser therapist Maurice Harker. Part of what has made Visions of Glory so successful is that Tom, this is interesting, y'all, is that Tom, through the pseudonym Spencer, claims in his book that his visions were approved of by an unnamed Mormon apostle. And in parentheses, it says, who now is known to be the late Neil A. Maxwell. This is a late Mormon prophet, okay? So he's not here anymore, right? He died. And this all goes into that whole thing that I believe is really just roles that they played into these rituals, these ceremonies, if you will. And so Melanie Gibb was not really Phoebe. That was not a past life. That is not a document that came from Chad. It came from Chad, but he got it from somewhere. You know that there's no original idea or thought, okay? So Neil A. Maxwell, I know I've seen that in documents before on the past life, whatever. I think it's called a rubric on Fox 10 Phoenix with Justin Lum, you know, back when those documents came out. JJ's past life was Jonathan Edwards, and Lori was Elena. Chad was James. And you know how there's a text between Chad and Lori, and he's saying, yeah, it worked for my neighbor and for Stan Lee and George Bush and just all these code names, right? Well, those are roles. In my theory, it brings me back to this every single time. That's why this is the Gadianton robbers, if you will. This is exactly, this verbatim is the secret society that damn church uses to fearmonger its members into enslaving them. Okay. So they are the secret society, and they're practicing some dark shit. Obviously there's 2 murdered children and you know, there's murdered adults but children, they're innocent on the receiving end of this. And so anybody who wants to think and just continue to live with this, we're not doing any justice to the victims if we continue to silence that still small voice or that intuition, that gut feeling that, oh, that's just a conspiracy theory and those things don't exist. They don't believe in that anymore. That's been disavowed, yada, yada, yada. Blood atonement is real, especially in this faith, particularly. And anytime that I really do think that when you turn and because it's uncomfortable and it's weird and whatever, it didn't make it any less deadly. If anything, it makes it less prosecuted. Okay. Because it becomes a stigma. And then we get labeled as conspiracy theorists. Well, the reality is Tylee and JJ are dead. They're murdered. No longer to ever live, breathe, or talk again. Okay. that was robbed from them, from these assholes. And it's not just Chad and Lori, and it never has been. And it's not just Chad, Lori, and Melanie Gibb and David Warwick and just all the people that we know of. There are more people, and I don't care. Call me what you will. But the reality in my life, in my perspective, is that this is real. This is reality. And there are many others that throughout time have gotten away with being investigated or implicated or found out because people are like, oh yeah, that is crazy. That is just so bizarre. And I mean, you have to be crazy to think about that, you know? And so screw them. Okay. That's where I'm at. It pisses me off because it disrespects the dead. It disrespects those kids. It disrespects every one of the victims, Charles, Tylee, Tammy, JJ, and Joe, because they were sacrificed. That is the end of the story. You know, that is, that is why we're here. Okay. And I really do believe that Jody was allegedly preparing R and E, the two Frankie children, for harvesting, if you will. That's a good, harvesting. That's a good word. General conference was right around the corner. Okay. So somebody's end game, higher up in the hierarchy, somebody, you know, it's above money, power, and sex. It's like all of them combined. It's beyond that. It's like a bloodthirst, or what do they call it? Bloodletting, blood libel. And they don't just want, you know, your insurance money or life insurance money or control or power over you. They want to desecrate your body and just torture you. And that is sick. That is some sick shit. But it's happening. And so we're not doing any justice. I'm not doing any justice if I don't look at everything. With everything that is available in this world, it's at your fingertips. Information is everywhere. And so how are we going to sit there and just disregard all the same stories over and over and over again? How are we going to do that? And I can't look away. And so to turn away is to silence another victim. Straight up. It's a slap in the face to every one of these victims. I don't want to be a part of that. I don't want to be ignorant. I don't want to stay in my little safe space. I wasn't given that opportunity. It's very rude and cold and real, and it's called reality, and it sucks. And so if we don't learn about these things, about the occult, about these secret societies, and quit getting gaslit by this damn church and other churches that do the same, then we're going to continue to have Tylee and JJ's and Charles and Tammy's and Joe's, the Frankie children. We're going to continue to have Melanie Boudreaux kids. She was trying to get her hands on those kids. What for? What? Somebody requires the payment of children. I don't know, but I have a good idea where this goes. I hope you're following me on this. Anyways, we have to destigmatize people's views of this, because I mean, I was just as ignorant coming into this. Straight up was like, oh my God, that is so weird and so dark. It is dark. Okay. Just imagine the last moments of these kids' lives that are foreign to them. Were foreign to them, to see, you know, your mother snuffing you out with her friends, with people that go to church with you, and just think how messed up and jacked up that is. That is the ultimate betrayal. Sorry, I went off on a tangent. Part of what has made, okay, so I already read all that. So I do believe that Tom in those documents is named Neil Maxwell. So we're going to find that out. I'm going to go look as soon as I get off of here. Finally, we will discuss how the Mormon Church was made aware of Tom Harrison and his book. They're friends with him. Okay. I've known that from the beginning. And his book in the 2012-2013 time period, and chose to promote. Sounds like Jason Mao, huh? Oh, here, you want to come work for the CES, the church education system? You want to come be on our payroll, pal? Anyways, and chose to promote Tom to bishop instead of to punish him or make an example, I'll say, and or stop the publishing of his book. You can't really stop people from publishing their books, but you can definitely not endorse them and then wipe them off your freaking website and all your affiliate links and everything. You know, when you decide to distance yourself, church, you are an asshole, church. I'm straight up. You are the biggest, ugliest, nastiest example. You are opposite of what your title says. The only thing Jesus Christ about you, church, is in your name. And you had to put a copyright on that, you know? They make me sick. Okay, lost my spot. This is Lauren Matthias, Hidden True Crime Podcast, and Megan Connor, Lori's cousin, right? And Mindi Caldwell, Mormon Super Sleuther, will be joining us for this panel discussion. One day, maybe they'll ask me what I think, right? Anyway, so I'm going to be watching this because finally it gives validity to everything that I've been screaming from the top of my lungs since this pretty much began. Oh man, it pisses me off because people want to be so ignorant and and just label other people instead of just getting comfortable with these things. So be sure you tune in for that. I know I am. And I don't know, might go live again tomorrow afterwards because I think it's going to evoke a lot of emotion and a lot of knowledge out of me. So I saw that for myself, and I gave her a text and shared what I think it is and who I think it is and where it goes. I don't know why, but nobody's ever asked either. So I have to kind of just butt in and say, hey, this is what I've been saying. Don't just acknowledge me now because it finally came up on your radar. Okay. But you know what? It sucks to be right. I don't want to be right about this. I never did want to be right about this because it really makes for a lot more shit for people. You're like, oh, the two that are responsible for this are, they're in jail. And all right, I feel safer. But really, you should oh my God. All the people around them. There's more to the story. There always has been. You just, that's scary. They're out free. Okay. They're playing with the kids, their grandchildren. They are sitting next to you in sacrament meeting or whatever all the things are called. What about the rest of them? Amen, sister. But wow, let me tell you right here. I'm the first one to admit to y'all. I used to deny when I would date or whatever, when I was single and I would meet someone and I'd be like, oh yeah, he's so great. And then all the alarms and bells and whistles are going off and saying, no, it's not going to work. And I would ignore that. You don't ignore that. Okay. Don't ignore that. That is your intuition. That is your gut instinct. That is your mind, body, and soul. Everything's talking and it's trying to tell you something. Listen to that still small voice. Listen to it because it's usually not wrong. I'm the biggest example of this, but I'm glad I didn't discount my gut feeling on this. I'm glad I followed it. It's been hard and this has been so difficult. This has been the most difficult part of it. It really has. But I feel relief finally because it's unfortunately come to play a big part into this, just like I thought. And run, don't walk. Right, Jess? Okay, so I'm gonna exit on they call me a god. I appreciate you guys being here. Thank y'all for being here. And this is KJ's right. This is a time for us to just be in the moment, to just, think about all the good things that we've learned and that we know about Tylee and JJ and how they have affected and impacted our own lives and our views and how we see things. All the lessons we have learned, it's because of them. It's because of their stories. And I couldn't be more proud of them and more proud to be a family member to them. And they are sorely missed and they're loved beyond measure. Right. And that's not just for me. That is from you too. And I love that because they do live on through us, through the difficult parts, through the uncomfortable parts. But they teach us so many things that makes their deaths not in vain. And I can subscribe to that all the live long day. Speaking of, if y'all would please go hit the like button and, subscribe, click notifications to all so that we can continue our research, our difficult ass research. Okay. So with that being said, thank you guys. And I appreciate you all so much. Love always wins. Justice for Tylee, Charles, Tammy, JJ, and Joe.
That after making a mistake, we need to face up to it. We need to tell the truth. That is integrity, telling the truth and honoring promises no matter the consequences.
They call me a god. 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 Let's go. I'm about to go off like a weapon. Fuel to the top, got a filled up engine.
In my thoughts, obsession, I will not stop, no, I'm never second guessing. I got a God complex, haters love to hate, but I never feel pressed. Got a lot on my plate, but I never get stressed. I'll take all the pressure like I'm acing this test. Tear it up like I'm Jason. I see the world like it's ready for the taking. I see this place like a game I'm playing. Straight to the bank to collect my payments. No negotiations, it's my way, I was born impatient. And like a damn Freemason, I'll run this nation.
You call me a god. You call me a god. You call me a god. You call me a god.
I don't know how to stop. I just go till I drop. Whether it's working or shots, give it all that I got. You can watch me work in my element. Anyone in the way is irrelevant. Wanna cross me, cool, not intelligent. Cause I don't forget shit like an elephant. Go ahead and tempt me. Put it on the line and you'll come up empty. If I got time, I'm deadly. Never caught off guard, no, I'm always ready. I got a hand real steady. Look me in the eye and you'll see no hezzy. About to get real messy. I'll put you in a grid 6 feet like Kenny.
You call me a god. You call me a god. You call me a god.
I'm called of God! Called of God. And she says, Tim Ballard told me he'd been called of God. Some wild-eyed prophet, like,
Love me tender, love me sweet, never let me go. You have made my life complete, and I love you so.